G'day everyone, it's SDS SuperCoach providing SuperCoach content for you. Here to present Jump On, Jump Off as we head into round 13 as we are officially at the halfway point of the season. And joining me as always for this series is Brad from SuperCoach Pro. How are we doing, my man?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. How are you?
Doing well, mate. Doing well, mate. Still a long way to go this season, so I'll be interested to see as our trades get lower, more important they become to you. So we'll be discussing and helping you guys out on what to do. Before we get started, of course, make sure you jump onto Supercoach Pro's YouTube channel and Twitter page and subscribe, follow, whatever the case may be, as he is having just an unbelievable season from his end. Has the nerves hit you really, or you trying to keep a level head about it?
Nerves have hit me just because the all eyes are on you sort of thing, especially with the trades and some unique trades I bought in recently. I don't know if you saw the last one, but I bought in Shannon Neal last minute to get rid of a 20 off my field. So probably went a
Yeah,
bit more panicky, just trying to hold rank. Because last week I was 38, now I'm 79. So it's definitely a lot of pressure and more studying than what I've ever done before. So yeah.
that's all right. That's all right. Pressure creates diamonds, that's for sure, Brad. So I'm sure you'll have a great second half of the season. Let's talk some trade outs. The number one most trade out player is Caden Cleary, and super stiff for Saturday night. I can understand why people probably may not have seen the news. A lot of people Saturday night would have been out busy. Unfortunately, sub and scored a six for basically most of the half. So 230K with a break even now of 91 definitely has to be a jump off this week, Brad.
Yeah, agree. I reckon he probably gets dropped as well as Bice. So I'd jump off Cleary.
Yeah, we can probably throw Rolly Bice in the same situation. 313K, dropped 33K, and probably a chance of getting dropped as well. 110 break even, probably, sorry, not probably, definitely time to go if you still have him. And at number three, we've got Levi Ashcroft, who is just holding around his price at high 300s here with a break even of 77 against the Crows on Friday night. I think he's fine to hold, but at the same time, if he is your avenue to a Bontempelli or a premium, then I think he is fine to move off as he won't make much more money from here.
Yeah, I agree. I think you just jump off as well in case he gets subbed out again, or they make him as a sub in future as well. But yeah, he's made enough money. He's almost 400K. Time to go.
Absolutely. At number four, we have got Ryan Marriage. So this is a decent talking point here. He was flagged in the second half of the Adelaide game, moving more to a wing half forward type role. We thought it was just a little bit of a blip on the radar, but now it was a full-time wing role against the Cats last week with a 155 break even, I believe, against North Melbourne. Dropped 41K last week. He's been a great pick for those who jumped on, but now time to move off.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think he's gone this week anyway. There's a high chance when you get subbed out, you're normally not playing the next week anyway. So he's gone for me. The wing role looked awful. He would have maybe got to like a 70-ish, but that's not what we want as a potential forward keeper. He's made you enough cash, and yeah, definitely time to go, Marek.
Yep. Thank you for everything, Ryan Marriage, but your time's up. Number five, Zach Reed. Yeah, so if you didn't jump off last week, this is just perfectly fine. I know he's not moving in cash or anything, but just a green dot would be valuable for your team. So this is a jump off.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know why people didn't get rid of him last week.
Yeah. I don't know why people are holding him. He is gone. Still another 3 to 5 weeks away. So better off moving off. Number six is Matty Flynn going up against the toughest ruck matchup in the competition, Tristan Cherry, with 111 break even. It's been a roller coaster, fair to say, Matt Flynn. But yeah, probably for most people, this will be the second time to definitely jump off.
Yeah, he's got to go. He doesn't look that great anyway. So yeah, time to go.
Absolutely. At number seven, we got Sardell Hawley. I don't. It's a bit of an awkward one. 167K. Defensive mid DPP is handy, and he might make some appearances late. So I think a guy like Huswaite with no DPP and definitely dead. I think there's better reason to trade him off instead. But how do you see moving off some of these dead rookies, Brad?
I think it makes more sense to get rid of the deadwood that has no DPP. That was sitting there for so long. So yeah, I tend to agree. Like that DPP could be really valuable. So you get rid of a Hustwaite over a Sard, but people are desperate for cash, so they need maybe an extra 67K, whatever it is, for a mid-season rookie that we're really waiting to debut this week. But I'm not sure any are actually going to come. I feel like they would have been announced by now. So yeah, I'd probably hold him unless you're desperate.
Absolutely. Number 8, Xavier Lindsay, who has been a very slow burn as a cash cow, but with a break even of 51. I think this is a similar boat, but a little bit different with Levi Ashcroft, where he's probably got another week to make money. But if he results you into a premium, then I think it's fine to move off. Do you agree, Brad?
Yeah, I agree. I think you only make an extra 10 grand anyway, even if you do hold.
Yeah, and he's got the Collingwood matchup as well. Number 9 is Luke Trainer. We have seen a bit of a role change over the past couple of weeks with him. Drop 22K, break even now of 89. Definitely a guy, if you have him, recommend jumping off.
Yeah, I hope he does us a favour and gets dropped because I don't want to trade him out this week, but I'll have to if he's named. So yeah, definitely get rid of him.
Yep, absolutely. Get the cash and use it while you can. Number 10, Cooper Simpson. I feel like if you can afford to trade him out instead of Sardell Hooley, I probably prefer that. 143K, probably isn't going to play again this season with no DPP. I know it's an extremely awkward price tag to move off, so I know it's using a valuable trade just to move this off, but unless you view him as a loop, do you think this is a jump off or fine to hold?
I think he's a good F8 loop, so I'd actually hold him for that purpose. If I had an F7 that was a bit, up and down in scoring, I'd actually hold Cooper Simpson. But yeah, people got a lot of dead rookies, so I get why he's going, but he's under 150K, so there's no point doing it really.
Yeah, and also the floating fixtures has not been kind with Freo due to their slow start to the year, so they've got a lot of late games. Let's talk about the most traded in options. Few choices to talk about here. Number 1 is Angus Clark from the Bombers with a break even of negative 73. Just a score of 41 will make him 50K. Been begging for a downgrade. We potentially have one here with Angus Clark. Do we think this is a definite jump on?
You'd hope so. Very hard to over Scott. You're not sure what Essendon rookies are going to do in any given week. So, yeah, I think he's been playing a lot of wing, though, hasn't he? Apart from that forward game up against Richmond. The other week, it would have been a wing.
Yes, he played wing last week. Certainly saw him more as a forward in the Richmond game, and that those 3 goals certainly helped towards his first game. So
Yep.
I think we're going to see a lot more of that than what we see in the Richmond game. But I guess any cash cow we can take will get. So I think
Yep.
this is a fine jump on. Number
Yeah, I agree.
2, sorry, what did you say?
I just said, yeah, I agree for sure.
Yep. Number 2, we've got Luke Pedlar from the Crows, 150K, just a forward with a break even of negative 56 against the Lions. Probably just a wait and see what's going on with team sheets. The TOG is low. I don't know whether he'll be sub or not, but how are you viewing the Pedlar option, Brad?
I just saw on the chats before that Sid Draper's been dropped apparently, and Pedro could be actually subbed then if that's the case. So I'm not really sure what the vibe is for this one. So yeah, I guess again, team shits will have to wait for that one.
And we're very lucky that Adelaide are playing on a Friday night as well. So we get to have a good view of what's going on with teams before we fully crack into the Saturday and Sunday games. So that is handy. So maybe just wait and see what's going on with Pedlar first, people. Number 3, we have got one of the goats of Supercoach, Marcus Bontempelli, 643K. One of the main talking points of the week. Off his bye. 643K with a break even of 137. We know how much of a superstar this lad is in AFL and in Supercoach. Do you see, I feel like this is very team dependent, but do you see this as a jump on?
Yeah, I do see this as a jump on, but I also see a world where it burns your F6 and your M8 as well. So it's really
Yep.
team dependent. For me, I'm still struggling. Like I need him in the top 1% because I'm pretty sure he's highly owned now. So I might have to use him as an antipod. But at the same time, like you could probably get a Cripper with the 3 week fixtures, he's going to run a similar average, you'd think. So, yeah, jump on if it doesn't ruin your whole entire side. But yeah, certainly don't do it to hinder your last couple upgrades.
Agree. And I would probably recommend him if you don't have one of Cherry and if you don't have both of Cherry and Gorn, and you
Yep.
just need to combat a way to find a captain option and a safe captain option each week, then I really like the BONT inclusion. So this is very team dependent. Just make sure you can finish your side if it means grabbing Bontempelli as well. And just have a look at the bigger picture before making a move on it. But make sure you think of it today because his game is tonight. Number 4, we've got a Jai Caldwell, 440K. I know you brought him in last week, Brad. And how'd you view Caldwell's game overall on Thursday night?
Well, unfortunately, I was working. I work Thursday, Friday night, so I
Yeah.
just, I took into consideration he scored, 80 something points in the third quarter. But you can look at it one or two ways, and I look at it in a way. Well, if he's got that much in him in one quarter, then he should be okay. I know he wasn't on that much at half time, but for 440K or whatever I paid for him the week before, it just seemed like a fine M8 that can probably do anywhere between 95 and a 105. I just don't know where he sits with that. Also, he's not going to get tagged. The tag will go to Merritt. The CBAs are there for Carwell as well now that Merritt's shifted behind the ball. So I think for what he is, if you don't have that many guys on the on that buy specifically, he's probably a good trading target this week.
Yeah, agree. And I'm glad you brought up that last point because I find it very interesting that if they for some reason move Merritt down back for the long run, this is a big opportunity for Jai Caldwell to be the main guy in the CBA. So at 440K, a 105 average, I think, is roughly what we can expect from Caldwell if this continues. And at 440K, if he's your M8, that's perfectly fine. And he at 440K as well, like this can finish your side pretty comfortably without blowing it up. So I think this is a very strong trade in target. Number 5, we've got Tom McCarthy. Unfortunately, we got the news that he will not be playing this week due to family reasons. He's flown back to Victoria for it, but we do expect him to be a downgrade option at some point during the bye rounds, I'd presume. Hopefully, everything's all good for Tom McCarthy, but one to wait another week on, Brad.
Yeah, definitely wanted to wait on that one. So hopefully we can downgrade him to him next week. And I don't mind grabbing a player on debut, considering it's buys anyway.
Especially with his potential as a halfback, with Ryan Marich moving up to a wing, he could take that role. So I think there's tremendous reason to be grabbing him straight away when named. Number 6, we've got Campbell Gray at 173K. To me, this feels like if he didn't jump on last week, we just let this go past. He might not even play this week due to Noah Bolter being available for this game due to the afternoon game. Good result for Campbell Gray if he can get named with Lynch and Bolter in there, but there's obviously a bit of a red flag on whether he'll play. Do you see him playing, and do you think it's too late to jump on?
It's not too late to jump on if he's named with Bolter in the side. I don't hate it. It might be between Gray and Trainer who gets dropped. I just have a feeling Gray might be the guy that actually gets dropped, regardless of what he's done. I think Trainer plays a slightly different role as well. So yeah, I don't know what the job security looks like from here on out, but it's probably the only reason I went Archie Wicks is because he was 20K cheaper and he had different flexibility for me. But I think it is too late to pay up 170 for a rookie. 150 is probably max that you pay to a sort. So a no for me.
Yep, agree. And Sydney are a bit of a smaller side as well, so that's probably a bit more of a concern for Campbell. Number 7, we've got Nick Martin from the Bombers at 590K. That's a bit to pay for, I reckon, at this point for Nick Martin. There will be ebbs and flows in his scoring, especially with Parrish potentially being back soon. Who knows if he'll actually make it in the team at this point? But strong CBAs last week, 590K. I just think the boat's been passed a little bit with Nick Martin.
Yeah, I'd rather pay 40K extra for BONT, 50K extra for BONT. Yeah, no from Martin, not at this price. We've seen him score a 50 and a 70 and all that sort of stuff before. So there's one or two down games coming around the corner where we can pick him up for maybe 550 at worst case.
Absolutely. And at number 8, we've got Tom Liberatore. So maybe some people are thinking, nah, I can't pay that extra 50K. for Bontempelli, I'm gonna just go with Liberatore as a safety net, especially with the Dogs' Marvel run. Do you see a bit of merit in this with Tom Liberatore, just saving a little bit more money, maybe not getting as good of a player, but you still get him for him having no more buys and that Marvel run?
Yeah, so the theory behind this would be like Ed Richards would get the tag, excuse me, where Weaver wouldn't get the tag and Weaver wouldn't play forward, whereas Traw and Bond would play forward. So he's probably the guy that they can't really move anywhere else bar the CBA role out of those four big dogs. So I see merit behind it as well. I just think he was a couple of weeks ago. He was about 570, and that was when to get him. So yeah, you're paying top dollar for Weber, but I see why you'd do it because I mean people are paying 640 for Bont. So yep.
He's a tough man to tag, isn't he? Because he's literally the first player to the ball when it's on the ground. Like it's hard for a player to get in front, so he is such a tough player to tag. So and he's relatively consistent. So we love watching Libba play. Number 9, we've got Connor Rosie, another player, another primo post buy that people are looking at 531K. The break even might be a little large, but we can't deny the price and the type of role that he has.
Yeah, good role, just shit team. So he's been scoring really poorly when they get hammered, and yeah, at least he's taking kickouts. I think the tag will go to Butters this week instead of Rosie because you're not going to tag someone taking kickouts. So he has a good friendly role though. Like when he does take the kickouts and stuff, he does push up to center clearances and stuff, and has a little bit of CBA here and there. So it's got a really super coach friendly role. So if you held him throughout the whole entire duration of the season, you've done well. But he is definitely probably a buy-in this week, especially at the low-ish price from what we're seeing from all the other guys coming off the round 12 buy.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. At number 10, we've got Hugh McCluggage at 598K. Has seemed to be usually every year there's an ultimate pod midfielder that just randomly pops off. Ed Richards and Hugh McCluggage just seems to be those guys that have just really come out of the blue as options. And Hugh McCluggage, 598K, is not cheap, especially with the last buy as well to come. Do you think this is too much to pay for a Hugh McCluggage pick, or do you think there's a little bit more meat on the bone with this?
Well, I think he's definitely a top 8 midfielder, so I'd
Yeah.
probably grab him for sure. Him, Richards, and Bont are your guys. You probably want one or three to finish your side, but it's just whether or not they're coming off their buy and he hasn't had his yet. So I'd almost don't understand why Cripps isn't in this list for trade-ins, considering he's 538K or something like that. So, but yeah, definitely a different release than what I thought it would actually be. I don't tend to look at this. I've actually been sorting it out to top 1% now instead of top 10 or overall coaches. So yeah, and McCluggage is probably a jump on, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because we can also adjust this. So there would be some different orders as well. So we can see like a Tom de Koning in here.
Yeah, yep.
Uh, yeah, who's got a really strong run home for Rucks. Got Nick Dacos there as well, Matt Kennedy. So there's a little, we won't go into detail about it, but we'll just show you guys on what the top 1% are thinking of doing as well. So we got, yeah, Huswaite in here, Carroll. So a few different options.
23% of the top 1% we're grabbing in BONT. Is that right? When you go to trade in?
Uh, yeah, 900 coaches in the top 1%.
Yeah, that scares me because I think the top 1% is around 2K roughly. So that makes me fear. Do I grab a BONT now? I mean, I've already got a cherry and go on. So that could be a huge deciding factor whether I bring him in late or not. I was saying on my stream last night that I don't really want to break my side to do so, but I
Yeah.
might have to just to anti-pod a guy like that because we know he's stealing his Marvel run, etc. But I'm still, yeah, the higher that number goes, the more it worries me out of my side. I think I view it like this kind of thing though. Like if a lot of the top sides are breaking the bank for bonds, then you're outside top 510K. You're probably playing the value route and hoping to catch those guys that can't upgrade their side. So I think where you're looking at it, if you're top 1%, you're using it as an antipod. If you're top 5-10%, you're playing value game until you can catch the other guys and then hope that the other guys can't finish F6 and you're running two primos versus their one potentially. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. And the live top 1% ownership for Bontempelli is 54.9. So that is a 44% increase in
Wow.
top 1% ownership. You can see it just there.
Oh, so is it 54% of the top 1% now
Yeah.
total?
So I just
Yeah.
went to players top 1% ownership, and yeah,
Yeah.
this.
I might have to get BONT. Oh my god. Oh no.
Have you had a look at your long-term play if you grab Bont?
Yeah, it means I'd have to grab a Callum Mills at flex or something like that. It definitely ruins my side. It also means I'd have to get a real cheap F6. Yeah, so it wouldn't be or an M8. Sorry, it doesn't really matter what position. I'll probably target Nas the week after if I can afford him to finish my side and grab Mills at flex.
Yeah, okay. That doesn't sound like the worst play in the world. Like, and Mills post buy
Yeah.
uh could be the shout. So I think we'll wrap it up there, guys. Yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for it. Thank you, Brad, for jumping on.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for always having me here. So I'll catch you on the next one.
No problem.